are some non-traditional approaches to healing trauma that are effective, especially for people who have been hesitant to seek traditional therapy?
Yes, so sometimes people don't want to talk about their experience or they're hesitant to talk about their emotion. So, for example, some minority culture, like Asian culture, so they usually suppress their individual emotion for the sake of the group. So in that case, talking about their experience or talking about their emotion with the words is kind of like a culturally not correct. So that's why we provide a non-traditional approach like art therapy or more focus on body like a somatic therapy, mindfulness. So make sure they feel safe to express their feeling, but at the same time so they can get some mental health support like a grounding, relaxation. So really need to think about, how much they feel comfortable to talk about their feelings or their experience.
You've touched on this already with that answer, but you've worked extensively in both Japanese and American communities, and like you said, there are cultural differences. One that you just mentioned with focus more on the group than the individual. Um, can you talk a little bit more about that? Are there other differences that you have really found about how these cultures approach mental health recovery, particularly, in the context of disasters?
Yes, so I think the important thing is I usually take more strength-based support. So when I was working with people in Japan, so it's more like a collective culture. So more focus on collective type of, mental health support. So it can be group therapy. Some people really don't want to receive any psychotherapy or mental health support. So like a turns to more like a psychoeducation, but really focus on collective collectivism, so they can really focus on the group health more than individual wellness. When I'm working with the community in here, people have a little bit more strength to focus on the personal, like individual. So I will take that strength, so helping them to express their personal experience, but still I try to connect them with the community or group. So really think about the balance, based on the community I'm facing. So kind of it's kind of same, I use a more strength-based support, but just based on the community or culture, like a ratio can be different, and then try to find the best balance.
In addition to kind of the cultural differences, many minority and immigrant communities face additional barriers to accessing mental health resources, including, language barrier, stigma. What are some effective ways to provide mental health support to these groups that respects and integrates their cultural values?
Yes, so stigma and then how much like a mental health support system they have has a huge impact for our mental health support. So based on that, so sometimes when I work with a minority culture, yeah, there is a very strong stigma to mental health. I don't even really talk about the psychotherapy. It's more like guiding them. So try to feel how their body feels or how they feel through the art. So they don't really think, oh, that's like a therapy or that's a clinical support, but they kind of feel safe to engage with those activities. So more really figure out what kind of way they feel more comfortable and feel safe to receive the mental health support.
You mentioned art therapy, right?
Yeah.
Movement therapy, was that another one?
Yes, movement therapy, art therapy is like a part of express art therapy, so kind of combining a lot of art modalities.